Hey guys, it is Friday once again, which means I'm here to get you all caught up on the biggest things that happened in gaming this week. Pillars of Eternity developers Obsidian Entertainment and Paradox Interactive have announced their next project. The PC RPG called Tyranny will take place in, quote, an original fantasy world where a brutal clash between good and evil has taken place, and evil emerged triumphant. The game's story will be non-linear and call for players to make difficult, morally grey decisions. Tyranny will release later this year and put you in the shoes of an officer in an evil legion. It looks like you'll be able to decide whether to be a good guy or a bad guy through your interactions with the inhabitants. Night Dive Studios have released the first gameplay video from System Shock Remastered. The remake is developed in Unity and looks really bloody pretty, particularly if you can cast your mind back to how the original game looked. The new clip shows off the new user interface and lovely visuals. Night Dive explained they will keep the new game true to the classic experience, presumably in that you will still get the shit scared out of you rounding corners and you can still hit monsters with a pipe. System Shock Remastered is due out on Xbox One and PC next year, and Night Dive are also working on the upcoming System Shock 3. In hardware news, AMD have announced absolutely the most powerful graphics card in the world by far. Their words, not mine. Earlier this week at GDC, AMD revealed the Radeon Pro Duo, which they're calling the world's first content creation platform aimed squarely at the VR developer. The dual GPU features two Fury X-Class graphics cards running side by side. The two graphics chips on one card are designed to reduce latency, while the card also makes use of AMD's Liquid VR framework and boasts 16 teraflops of computing performance. The card will arrive later this year and has a mighty $1,500 price tag. This week, PlayStation finally threw their hat in the ring and announced the price and release window for their VR offering, which is sadly no longer called Morpheus. The slightly less cool-sounding PlayStation VR is going to cost $400 in North America and will arrive in October of this year. Although you should add on the price of a PlayStation camera on top of that, since one is weirdly not included in the package. PSVR also doesn't come with Move controllers, which are required for some games, so that'll hike up the price a bit more. Nevertheless, even with the additions, it's still cheaper than the $600 Oculus Rift and the $800 HTC Vive. Sony also confirmed over 230 developers are making games for PSVR right now, and more than 160 games are currently in development. Sony also revealed that all PS4 games will be playable within the virtual cinema mode, which displays the game up on a virtual 5-meter screen in front of you. Finally, Sony and Microsoft seem to be talking pretty seriously about connecting the Xbox Live and PlayStation networks. On Monday, Microsoft announced that it will natively support cross-platform play between Xbox One, Windows 10, and other online multiplayer networks, which makes it sound like all Sony has to do is opt in. Sony responded that they have supported cross-platform play between PlayStation consoles and PC for several titles, and they would be, quote, happy to have the conversation with any publishers or developers who are interested in cross-platform play. Both Microsoft and Sony have strangely avoided mentioning each other specifically, but the hypothetical feature looks to be progressing positively so far. Let me know down in that comment section if you'd like to see PlayStation and Xbox adopt cross-platform play between networks. This week on site, I tell you about some sweet Division Easter eggs on The Gist. Our Fallout 4 show checks out Strong's power armor, and we interview Theon Greyjoy from Game of Thrones. That is everything I have for you this week, but be sure to have yourselves a lovely weekend, and Mary will be back with your gaming news on Monday.